I met Senator Formica almost 40 years ago. I was fishing for flounder fish out in Niantic Bay, and Paul was a young fishmonger at the time. He came down and he wanted to buy fish directly from our boat, and we've known each other for all these years since then. At New London Seafood, we're instrumental in offloading. We have about a dozen boats. We prepare them to go to sea with ice and fuel. The lease arrangement that we had with New London Seafood, that was a month-by-month lease, and it was lasted for almost 20 years. And I talked to Paul, and he helped set up that we ended up with a 5-year lease with 3 additional terms.
Senator Formica was instrumental in helping us acquire the longer-term lease, meeting with both local leaders as well as state leaders. By having a longer-term lease on this facility here, it actually stabilizes all of our other businesses that utilize this facility.
Now we've built a fish market, we've built a small seafood lobster truck, and we feel that we can start investing in New London and be confident that we're going to be here. My son will be here, my grandson will be here, so Paul was instrumental in helping us get that through. 2 years ago, my wife came down with cancer, and at one of the meetings, Paul asked me how things were going, so on and so forth, and I told him, I said, my wife just was diagnosed with cancer, and he was visibly not shaken, but I could tell that, it hit home to him. I know that Paul had lost his wife, and I realized then that he wasn't the politician Formica, he wasn't Senator Formica. At that time, he was Paul Formica, just a good person. So, he reached out to me a number of times. He'd call me and ask me how my wife was doing and everything. So it just hit home with me very, very seriously. So, and I appreciate that. And it makes a difference when you get to know people and you know that it goes beyond it's one-on-one with people. So that's important, and I think that that's the man that he is. Now, more than ever,
we need Paul.
Paid for by Formica for Senate, Devin Sullivan, Treasurer. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Mike. I'm Paul Formica, and I approve this message.